Welcome back to United Tradesman Academy. Hey guys, look, we are back here at this electrical panel that in the previous video you saw me install the electrical guts. Well, we're going to continue on with the build process. We're going to put the feed through lugs on this panel and on the second panel. So this particular panel is going to have one main 400 amp breaker that's going to feed this first panel. The feed through lugs is going to come around and I'm going to have lugs on the other side. So I'm going to have wire from these lugs that I'm about to install that's going to go down and come through and land right on the next panel lugs that I'm going to install also. So first thing we need to read the instructions, which I've already done. So what it has told me to do is to install the 1032 by 1.25 inch screws, which I have the bag right here. And then it told me to have my torque wrench, which needs to be set at 28 foot-pounds. Well, it says 28 to 32 foot-pounds. So let's do that. So if you don't know how to set a torque wrench, so if you look right here, I don't know if it can focus in on my camera, but it says inch-pounds. And it has little numbers here. You just turn the dial up to where it goes up to 10, 15, 20 inch-pounds. So we're gonna go to 28. So that's 25 right there. So we'll go to 28, which is right there. Now, once I got it set where I want, I push the set screw down, and now the 28 inch-pounds is locked. So it's not gonna move off the torque rating. Also too, I got a little marker to mark my torque when I get it on there. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put them all on there. Just so I can make sure everything lines up properly before I do the actual torquing of it in place. Now, one thing you gotta consider, you see the difference in this one and this one? You see how this one's offset? This one goes in the middle. And these two flat pieces, they go on the ends. You want to make sure you're putting them screws in straight so you don't cross through it easily. And also too, I'm going to use my actual socket, my 1/4 inch socket set to get these in, get them all the way down. And then I'll come back with a torque wrench, get them to the correct spec. Now I'm ready to tighten it down. You may ask why I don't use a torque wrench on this. Once you strip this copper, it costs a lot of money to replace this. So doing this one time at a slow pace is the most ideal. extension on this, so I don't have to be so close up in the panel. So I'm just gonna snug it. That's enough. I'm gonna let the torque wrench do the rest. So guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and do these two, this one, and then we'll go to the torquing. Okay guys, so let's start torquing. Remember, we're going to 28 inch-pounds. So once I get my 28 inch-pound mark, you'll hear a click, click. And then I go one more time, click. So I do 2 clicks. I don't just do 1 click, I do 2 clicks as a verification. One, 2. Don't think a lot. You may think, it should be much tighter than that. No, you need to go by what the manufacturer says to torque it at, because otherwise you could strip it. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. Now what I do, take my orange marks torque seal, I just go right across that bust like that. Actually, it's time for another marker because this one is completely gone. So I'll show you just like that. That's how it should look. So you should have a mark going from here, straight across, just like that. So if someone tries to retorque it, and it goes past it, you'll see where they broke the torque seal. If they go past it, the 2 marks are not gonna line up. So I guess I gotta get another marker for that. So anyway, that's the first side. So now we're gonna jump over here to the next side. Okay, so same process as this side. Once I finish up, I'm gonna show you how they're gonna feed. How one panel is gonna how one panel is gonna fire up the other panel. You may already be looking at it now, since once you look at it, it's pretty self-explanatory. Well, no, it's not. Let me stop lying. It's not self-explanatory. So let me not say that. That screw looks like it's a little crooked there. I'm gonna back it out and put it back in straight. So I'm gonna, let me just see if I can get started. Just because they were kind of looking a little crooked, so now they're looking much better after I got them started. Okay. I really don't like taking the screws off the pack because I don't like getting dirt on those bolts. Sheetrock dust. Like for everything to be clean install. That way you're not doing a whole bunch of wiping down, blowing air, compressed air. We'll get these started. these started now. All right, so I'm gonna get these snug tight and then we'll come back with the torquing. Okay guys, so I'm gonna step back over here just for a second. Now you can see from the factory, they use just a regular marker to do their torque specs, their torque seal. I normally use some, this is kind of like more like waterproof, just in case, you know, weather or moisture, corrosion, you can still see that torque seal. So I'm just gonna use a marker. All right. So now we're ready to torque this side. Same setting. I didn't change my torque wrench. Let's double check it. It's back at 28. Yep. Still locked on. Yep. All right. 1. 2. If you listen closely, you can hear the torque wrench clicking, click, click. Here we go, listen for it. 1, 2. It's real subtle. 1, 2. 1, 2. One. Not yet. 1, 2. One, two. That looks a little crooked too. Make sure it looks straight. 1, 2. One, two. And we'll just go back with the marker. Same thing. Just mark it. Torque mark. All right, guys, so last thing, this is gonna be a feed through panel. So my main breaker is gonna be at the top. This whole bus, once I turn that main breaker on, the whole bus is gonna be energized, including these terminals down here. So I'm gonna have some 3-aught or 4-aught that's gonna, 2 parallel sets. It's gonna come through here. It's gonna come through, come down through the nipple right here. Let me see, you can see that. come down through this nipple right here, come across. So come up, land there, land there, land there. So this first one to come across right here and land right there. This middle one will come and land on the middle. This last one, it'll come land right here. So A to A, B to B, C to C. And of course these right here, that's for the neutral. All right guys, so last part, we're gonna put the main breaker in. So essentially it's gonna be the same process as torquing the lugs we just torqued through at the bottom. And I looked at the instructions again and it shows using a torque wrench, ensure that the hardware is properly seated and is tightened to a torque value of 28 to 32 inch-pounds. Do not over tighten. It's the main breaker right here. I'm trying to put those right where they go. This one's bent right here. Yeah, I don't like that. We'll see when I get it down. So same process. I'm gonna tighten them down with this ratchet. And then we'll torque them. So I'm gonna get these two ends so I can free my other hand up. This breaker is very expensive, thousands of dollars just for the breaker. So we wanna make sure it's secure. It's not gonna go anywhere. Just a little bit. Yep. Definitely get a full-on workout on this. Just tight. Now it's up there. Then we'll go ahead and do the last two. Not last two, but the other two. Now this one is bent, which really don't like that. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these two down. Well, these four, these two, four. I'm gonna tighten those down and we'll torque it. All right guys, so we're gonna torque it again. We're gonna recheck. Still at 28, hasn't moved. Now you may ask why I don't put an extension on here when I'm torquing. Because once you add an extension to your torque wrench, you have to readjust or recalculate the torque spec, the torque value. About to click. 1, 2. And get it snug. Get this one snug. Snug. They're just a little loose. I don't like doing so much wrenching with my torque wrench, so. One, two. I'll get that one here in a little bit. Let me get this one again. 1, 2. One, two. Now the middle. One, two. One, two. Get the marker. All right, so now I gotta put these two little in right here, and that will be it. Yeah, I can use my drill for that. Okay. All right, so we've officially completely torqued here, the main lugs down here, feeder lugs, and the main feeder lugs on this side. So now we're ready to wire this thing up. That I'm looking forward to, and I'm not looking forward to, because taking my feeder cables out to the disconnected trans socket, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So guys, look, thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time back at United Tradesman Academy.